It's Tuesday afternoon in Seattle. It's Tuesday evening in Ukraine. It is time for the Russia-Ukraine war update for April 1st, 2025. I am the Malcontent. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to our new followers, and thank you to our old school Malcontents for returning. As a reminder, TikTok may be going away on Saturday, and so if you want to continue to have access to truth-based news, you can go ahead and follow us on Substack. We're also on the Tube. We're also on Blue Sky, so you could follow us over there. And with that, I'm going to have an announcement about Substack at the end, something really amazing. Let's go ahead and dive into what's going on in Ukraine. In yesterday's update, there was a lot to talk about because there was a lot of activity that had happened over the weekend. Over the last 24 hours, there isn't a whole lot to talk about. Russia did over 200 attacks again. As a matter of fact, the week ending March 31st was the third highest number of attacks Russia carried out in a week since February 24th, 2022. So the operational tempo was very high, but as we reported yesterday, we're not seeing any big Russian advances. There are only four areas that I'm going to talk about. The first area is the Kursk Oblast and the Belgorod Oblast of Russia. There are really no changes here. There are some videos that we're working on geolocating. We may be making some small changes in Belgorod for tomorrow, but as of right now, no significant changes. The next area is in the Kharkiv Oblast. This is in the Kupiansk area. There are reports that some Russian forces have moved in this area, and we're working on confirming that. The next region is here in the southwest part of the Donetsk Oblast. We had talked yesterday about Russian armored assaults in this area that were unsuccessful and have failed. There have been a number of videos that have come out in the last 24 hours that show that in this area, Russian forces were not able to consolidate any new positions, and we are probably going to pull this gray area back in some areas. Over here in Bodanovika, let me show you some pictures. I had no idea in 2025 that you could get a tank ensnared in a single roll of concertina wire. Apparently you can. And here's another thing that we discovered. On March 27th, Russian forces attempted to advance in this direction on this village here, and they weren't successful. If I zoom into this area, and you'll understand in a moment while I'm doing this, Russian forces came from this direction and they were stopped in this area. And what happened was the first Russian group came down. They came under fire from Ukrainian positions, artillery, drones, and troops. A second relief group came down and they attacked their own Russian troops and armored vehicles, effectively ending the assault. That video on March 27th reveals that Russia does not control anything south of this area. So that's why we have this notch that's been put in here. This raises questions about how much control Russia has in this area over here if on March 27th, Russian forces were coming from the north and were stopped in this area around here. We haven't changed the line of conflict in this area, but we definitely have a lot of questions now. And finally, there is this last area, which is this village in southwestern Donetsk Oblast. Russian forces were geolocated in approximately 5 different spots in this village. They were very small groups, 1, 2, 3, 4 soldiers, all waving flags in 5 different locations. Here's the problem. On the exact same day, Ukrainian forces were geolocated in 3 areas, including over here in areas just 1 house away from where those Russian troops are. We don't believe that this village is fully under Russian control. We believe that fighting is continuing in this area. And drones are a major problem for Russian troops that are trying to move in. And that's it. That's all that's happened on the battlefield in the last 24 hours. There was a lot more fighting. Russian forces suffered very heavy losses due to Ukrainian drones. We have that in our Situational World Watch report. That's available on our Patreon and Substack. We have links to all of those videos. I can't show them here because you'll never see this video if I do. Now, I said that I was going to talk about something amazing that happened on Substack. First of all, I want to thank everybody for your show of support and your voice and confidence in our truth-based news. Number 3 on Rising Stars for international journalists on Substack. What's remarkable about that to me is we've done no promotion. We haven't been on Substack for a month, and we haven't been telling people, hey, we're on Substack until yesterday. Thank you so much for your trust. There are no words I can use to express how flattered I am as a journalist. This has been one wild journey since 2020. And I'm glad that a lot of you have been with me on this. And just as a reminder, TikTok may be going away on Saturday. And so if you wanted to continue to get truth-based news, we're on Blue Sky, we're on the Tube, and you can also follow us on our Substack. It is free. And with that, Malcontent out.